Okay, we're good to go.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the first men's opportunity event with Plexus. We got a few guys in the room here, and so I'm not going to just talk to the screen tonight. I'm going to also talk to you guys because I'm thrilled that you're here. And but we are also recording this, and it's going to go out. Anybody can tune in right now. There's Mr. Mike. What's up, Mike? Good to see you. And I know a couple other guys are going to tune in. So my name is Kevin Booker. We're thrilled to have you here to share about this incredible business opportunity and also share about these awesome products, which I know I've had personal conversations with some of you, and many of you have experienced the products either for yourself or somebody you know or a friend. And so this is how the night's going to kind of go down. We're going to try to make it fast moving so people don't get bored. We want you to be interested and not disengaged. And so we're going to try to move quickly. We're not going to be long-winded, hopefully. I'm going to do my best not to do that. So here's how it will happen. I'm going to start with my testimony, kind of what Plexus has done for me personally. And then we got a couple guys in the room that are going to give testimonies as well. And we got Mr. James that's going to give a testimony, and Mr. Rick. And then we have Mr. Justin Goff on the line here too, who's going to zoom in and share about the business opportunity and the products. And so that's going to happen. And then after that, we'll have a question and answer time for a couple of minutes and we'll be done. So I don't see it going longer than an hour. We should be probably even shorter than that. And so that's where we're at. You have anything to add, Justin? You want me to keep going? All right.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Shaking his head no. All right. So here we go. So let's jump right in. I just kind of want to start with my testimony, which kind of goes back to 2012 as far as where I was at physically. I felt pretty horrible, really. I was in pretty sad shape, had some pretty serious stressors in my life at that time, and was dealing with some pretty serious stomach pain, digestion, like no energy, fatigue, and also something that I'm not really excited about talking about, but because I want to help people, I'm willing to. And so I was dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, and some panic, honestly. And so it was kind of a strange place for me because I had never experienced anything like that before. And I was going to share a quick instance just to kind of show you where I was at. I was scheduled to have my gallbladder removed because that was something I thought might help. And so, and didn't know that I was dealing with the kind of anxiety that was kind of stirring up within me. And so I scheduled to have my gallbladder removed. We went to the hospital. They kind of did all the prep work, got ready to wheel me in. Thought I was good. Got into the operating room. And, got some background noise going on. There we go. Got into the operating room, and all of a sudden things went white, and I'm like seeing all these tools and the nurses. It felt like an episode of House, really. Like people were just like all over me. And so right before they went to put the mask on, I was like, can I get up? Like, well, that's a little unconventional, but I guess so. And I got up and I walked out and had like pretty severe anxiety over that. So that's kind of where I was at. It was kind of a scary time in my life. Because of all the things stomach-wise and everything, the anxiety, I tried all kinds of stuff. I tried cortisol medication because I had what they called adrenal fatigue, which was the energy loss. So I tried that. I tried proton pump inhibitors for acid. Some of you guys maybe have tried some of this stuff. I was with a homeopathic practitioner and did all kinds of blood tests. And pretty much she told me I couldn't eat anything but lettuce. And so I tried that and lost all kinds of weight. Still didn't feel well. Ate super clean, tried acupuncture. I tried all kinds of stuff. Finally did have my gallbladder out in 2013. I went in, I said, you need to drug me right now or this might not go well. And so they did. And I was able to have a successful gallbladder surgery. But even that still didn't help me like I had hoped. It did a little bit, but not nearly as much as I hoped. So really had 3 years of feeling pretty horrible and kind of resigned myself to, I think this is just how I'm going to feel the rest of my life, which kind of stunk, but I just kind of landed there. And so I'm getting close to the end here, but entered Plexus around 2016. And somebody pretty much gave us a gift of the Triplex, which is, you'll hear a little bit more about that tonight, but it's the probiotic, the BioCleanse, and a slim energy drink. And Justin will probably share more about that. It really should be called Balance, because it balances blood sugar, gives energy. And so I tried that. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have tried it unless somebody gave it to me. But I did. And then I said, well, it's a 60-day money-back guarantee thing, so I'll try it for 2 months. I wouldn't say after the 2 months I noticed like drastic changes, but there was enough change in like my mental clarity and little tiny changes in my stomach that I'm like, I want to keep going. I think there's something maybe here, you know. Go forward 6 months and I was like, there's definitely something here. This is legit. And so it made such a huge difference in my energy level, in my digestion, really in my quality of life. And I mean, I just remember feeling guilty. Like, I remember this one time specifically where I was going to go sliding with my kids. We have snow in Maine, if anybody's tuning in from other places. And just felt so guilty because my kids were like, "Dad, jump on the sled," you know, and I just felt horrible, you know, energy wise and everything. And so to be where I'm at today and to feel as good as I do, because of learning about Plexus and being on it consistently, has made a world of difference for me. And so again, real quick, we jumped into this thing, and then my wife said, "Hey, you know, I wouldn't mind getting our products paid for, because that would really help us." And so she started sharing a little bit on Facebook, just vaguely. And before you knew it, we had our products paid for with not that much work. And so this whole thing kind of turned into an accidental business for us, where we're like, wow, you know, we have products that are, you know, making us feel great, and financial pressure is being relieved. This is like a win-win. And so that's kind of my story. So I'm going to stop now. That was long enough for me. I want to have, who's up next here? We have Mr. Rick Robinson's going to come to the platform. We don't actually have a platform. Rick is the owner of a multi-site physical therapy business here in Maine, very successful, doing a great job growing his Plexus business alongside his other career. So he's kind of doing it as a side gig. And so that's what I asked Rick to talk about. How do you do that when you have a career, but you still want to do Plexus as well? So thanks, Rick.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for having me, Kevin. Again, my name is Rick Robinson. My background, in a nutshell, is I'm a trained physician's assistant. I worked for 17 years in orthopedics, and got burned out with that, with the call schedule that we were on. Had an opportunity to partner with a physical therapy company, a national company out of Houston, Texas. Jumped at that opportunity and quickly grew that business into 9 locations in the coast of Maine. And in 2014, had an opportunity to buy my partners out and go independent, which I own by myself. And I think that's what kind of led me to this type of business, because I really want to do my own thing and be in control. And this really allows you to do that. I had been involved once before with a MLM, and it wasn't a good fit. There was a lot of pressures to grow from uplines, and that wasn't really that's not really what I wanted. And so when I looked at Plexus and I talked to Amy, it was really about, hey, let's just get your products covered. That's our goal. You know, that's where you start, and real low pressure. And I like that. So I got into it in May of this year. And with my physical therapy business, we had the unique opportunity to be able to integrate the Plexus products and information and distribute it to our patients. I have several people in my office that are ambassadors that are promoting these products. They use them. They have testimonies of their own, and it's working well. We're very low pressure. Here's here's the information, we follow up, and if there's no interest, that's it, we're done. If they have interest, we'll follow more. As far as running a business and doing Plexus, it's just about prioritizing time. It's all about just sharing it, mostly with family. That's the easiest jumping point, right? Your family is who trusts you the most, so they're going to listen to you, and then from there, with Facebook and all the different types of media we have today, just being able to connect with people so easily and share something like something interesting, where I know your background, you have some belly issues, or you have anxiety, or you have this going on. Would you be willing to try this? And the really cool thing about this company is 2 months for free. If you get money back, if it doesn't work, that's unheard of. So people can't say, well, it's expensive, I don't want to try it. It can be, but you get money back if it doesn't work in 2 months, or you don't see any, improvements. So I think it's a big selling point, and people feel a little more comfortable with that piece of it. Again, it is about just taking a little piece of time each day or part of the week and saying, I'm going to dedicate this to try and grow my business. It does take time and work, but if you want to get your products paid for, you can do it pretty quickly and pretty easily. It doesn't take many people to get under you. It's like three or four, and it's all paid for. So I think it's a great company, good compensation plan, good people that we're with, and that's really important to me as well. And really enjoying the last 5 months with the company and with my group. So that's my story. That's awesome.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for sharing. Next, we have Mr. James Meek. James is a friend of mine from church. So is Rick, actually. And James leads worship with me at church, and so just a cool cat. And also works in our local healthcare system as a risk management coordinator and policy gatekeeper. I'm still not exactly sure what that means, but that's what he does. And he also, his wife also is being really helped by Plexus with her diabetes. And so I asked him to share a little bit about that. And James is also doing the business as well. So, Mr. James.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. How's it going, guys? So, Rick did an excellent job of discussing and talking about the benefits of the business side. I want to talk about my why that got me into it, which is more of the benefit of the product itself and what it's done for my wife and for myself. So my wife is type 1 diabetic, and what that basically means is she does not have a working pancreas. She's had this since she was, I think, 6 or 7 years old. She was just really ill. Her mom was really worried. I'm going to adjust this a little bit because it's like getting my forehead. So anyways, she's had this since she was a little kid. It's not something that you can control dietarily. There's no insulin in her blood. So she's reliant on insulin from a pump or taking shots, that kind of thing. And that's all good and great. But so what got us into trying Plexus was we had 2 kids. Both pregnancies were terrible on her health. Her blood sugars were really screwed up. After she had the kids, just major water retention, lots of pain, and she could not produce milk beyond about a month and a half, 2 months. And it was actually so bad that our firstborn, my oldest, my daughter, we didn't realize it, but she was actually quite malnourished because she wasn't getting enough milk. And so we went to her 2 months, and she had gained no weight. And so we were like, okay, we got to supplement with formula. So we were like, we're done at 2, for the sake of her health. We want to play it safe, and a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, I guess is what they say. But when we found out we were pregnant with our 3rd, it was unexpected, but it was totally a gift from the Lord. And we're like, okay, God's going to provide. It's going to be okay. And the way that God provided, I believe, is through the relationship that we have with Kevin and Amy and the product that they put in our hands. Amy was insistent that Beth try a week's worth, just give it a shot, see how she feels about it. And I'm a super skeptic. I've got a master's in industrial psychology, well-educated. So anything that comes around, I'm like, MLM, whatever, like, okay, honey, try your thing, I'll support you, sit back and watch. And she has a glucose monitor that she checks her blood sugar several times a day. And before starting Plexus, her blood sugars were regularly like jumping to the 300s and then crashing down into the 60s after she overcorrected, just, highs and lows constantly, which is terrible for her, let alone being pregnant with a baby and the baby going through all of that influx or whatever. And so anyway, she started taking Plexus, and the weirdest thing happened. Her blood sugars became much more manageable. And for her, for a type 1 diabetic, having blood sugars that are somewhere between 150 or 120 and 180 is really, really good, especially pregnant, because you got all the hormone changes. And that's where she found herself over the course of trying the Plexus product. And she was like, I think I want to keep trying this. There's a 2-month grace period where you can try it for 2 months. And if it doesn't do what you want, you can get your money back. And so I said, okay, it's working. You can't argue with quantitative data. Like if you see, blood sugars balancing out in front of your eyes, it's like, okay, keep doing what you're doing because it's working. So she did 2 months of that, and first trimester was by far the best trimester she'd ever had with all the kids. And, blood sugars were fantastic. The OB was like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And she cleared it by them too on the front. I have to say that as well. That's obviously an important piece. She was like, so there's this like gut health thing. And the OB was like, oh, I've heard of gut health and gut flora and all this, that, and the other. And so he read the labels and gave her the clearance and the go ahead to keep taking it. And that first trimester was fantastic. So we kept going. And somewhere around the second trimester, she started putting the pink drink in front of me. And she was like, I know you're constantly fatigued. My issue was, and I think it's partially hereditary, I don't really know, but like I would fall asleep at 8 o'clock sitting up no matter what. Like we'd have our best friends over and we'd be like fellowshipping or whatnot, hanging out. And I would just pass out, just fall asleep, dead to the world. And I'd wake up and I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I'm not bored. Like, it's not you guys. It's just a problem I have. And she started putting this product in my hand, and I started taking it, here and there, doing it daily for about 2-3 weeks. And I started noticing a difference in my energy to the point that I fall asleep when I'm ready to fall asleep. And it's generally like, okay, I'm climbing in bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm ready, turn off the light, and I'm out. And that was huge for me. Another thing is 31 years old, and for whatever reason, still had an issue with acne and some skin health issues. And I was like, I don't get this. Like, I was supposed to grow out of this a long time ago. The acne is, I wouldn't say it's gone because, this isn't like a cure-all elixir type of thing. But with the product on board, it's way more manageable. And I would say 80% better than it was prior. So those are just a couple things I've experienced firsthand. I've also experienced major weight loss since August 5th. I used to work out, count calories, and I was lucky to lose a half pound every 2 to 3 weeks. I made 2 basic changes in my life routine since I started taking Plexus. I started running, and like I was before, and I cut bread out at lunch. And I'm taking Plexus, and I've lost 9 pounds since August 5th, which is crazy for me. I would not have expected that I would see that good of results working out, because in the past I've worked out like that and it's like nothing. And you're just like, okay, now I just want to eat everything, but for whatever reason, this is working. So gut health is a thing. It's real. Oh yeah, I want to wrap up my wife's story. I'll come back to her. I'm all over the place. Basically, so great pregnancy. We get through, unremarkable delivery. Remember I said the first 2 kids, she could not produce milk. This pregnancy, I'll just put it this way, she's producing enough milk for the whole neighborhood. And that is not a problem. Our kid is well fed. His head is 100th percentile. His length is 95th percentile. His weight is 95th percentile. So we've got a Plexus baby, and he is doing very well. And she is too. So buy in. This is the real deal.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. James. Very cool. Thanks, guys, for sharing. And we're just going to keep on moving now. We've got Mr. Justin Goff on the line here, and so I'm going to pass it over to him. Justin is an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus and has just grown a very successful business, again, because the product's made such a difference in his family's life. And so, Mr. Justin, take it away.
Okay, what's up, guys? Good job, everybody. I love the testimonies, and well, I'll just share a little bit of why we got started. I'm going to start with some products, talk about products, and then I'm going to move into the business opportunity. So can you hear me okay? Everything good? Thumbs up? All right, good. So if you hear a scream or a crash, it's probably one of my 5 sons. Probably not my 1 daughter, but it's probably one of my 5 sons being boys. So I'll apologize in advance. But one of the reasons we got started is my wife was sick. She didn't feel good. She had some major issues, and we had tried everything else. She had a thyroid issue, autoimmune issue going on because we had mold in our home. So the reason we got started with Plexus was because of the products. We had tried everything else. We weren't wanting to do surgery. We were just wanting to do something more simple. And so we started out with the products. And thankfully, the products worked. Like they changed our life, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go into my wife's whole story, but they changed her life. And I was a road construction guy. I'm an Army guy. I'm not a health and wellness guy naturally. I would take what my wife gave me to take. Can anybody else relate to that? You know, here, take this. Okay, I'll take it, whatever. And then I'd be on with my 12-hour, 14, 15-hour day. But I started to see that the products worked well for me. And so I started taking them. And I'm proud to say today she doesn't have to pack the products for me. I pack my own products because I love these products. They have done so much for me personally. So here's some things that they've done for me. One thing is I'm down over 20 pounds. I have about 4 pounds to go, and I'll match my honeymoon weight. Yes, so that's a good thing. That's a good feeling. I'm going back. My waist size is going back down, so that's a positive. Some of the other things is energy. I know you guys heard energy tonight from a couple of the people, but my energy is off the charts. Literally, I used to shuffle to the coffee pot in the morning, and I would drink about at least one and a half pots of coffee a day just to stay awake. And I still couldn't stay awake. I worked an hour away from home, and I couldn't make it home in that hour drive. I usually had to stop about halfway, either take a nap or get another cup of coffee and a Snickers bar just to make it that drive home. I was just exhausted. I couldn't sleep very good. And it was just like a vicious cycle. Can't sleep, you get up, you're tired, you feel bad, you go to work, you come home, you try to pray with your family, you fall asleep mid-prayer. One time I was praying with my kids and I fell asleep. Have you ever fallen asleep and you're still praying? Like you're out, but things are still working. So I was praying, and then I said, and please help the kids in the Olympics. I have no idea what I was talking about. I was like out of it. And then I heard my oldest son just perk up, and he's like, what? And I startled awake. This is getting out of control. So I was just exhausted, but I can proudly say because of these products that I have all day energy. I drink coffee now because I like it, not because I have to try to stay awake all day and then need caffeine just to keep moving. I don't have to take a nap. I like a nap, especially on Sunday afternoons, but I don't have to take one like I once did. Not only do I have the energy, I'm actually running now. I'm training for triathlons. I just feel great. I feel better at 42 than I did at 32. My sleep, I'm getting the best sleep I've had in my adult life. I sleep soundly. I wake up and I'm ready to roll. I feel good. I just feel good. Joint pain in my hands is gone. And also regularity. I heard some guys talk, Kevin, I know, talked about gut health, and a couple of the guys mentioned gut health. I have no shame, no embarrassment to say I work for a gut health company, because that part of these products has changed my life, and probably half of Americans struggle with this issue, and most of the people struggle in silence. They suffer in silence, and they're not talking about it. I'm talking about it. My gut was a mess, and I felt horrible. I'm regular now, and I feel great. So I share that because I know guys need to hear it, and they need relief. They need relief. I used to get sinus infections about 5 or 6 times a year. I haven't had one in 3 years. So I like that. And another thing I'm going to talk about real quick is I'm just going to be vulnerable with you, because I really don't have anything to lose or to hide. But sex drive. Let's talk about sex drive. I've always had a fairly strong one. All I can say is mine is stronger. And because I feel good. Everything on the inside, what's going on the inside affects everything. It affects everything. Your skin, your hair, it affects the way you feel. It affects the way you think. It affects your peace of mind. I heard anxiety earlier. I've struggled with anxiety throughout the years. I just don't really deal with anxiety anymore. I feel good. My body is healthy. It's balanced out, and I feel good. So those are some of the things that it's done for me personally. That's my own personal testimony with these products. Like I said, I'm an Army veteran. I have a lot of Army veterans that are on my team, and they're enjoying the same benefits. So this isn't just for these products. Just aren't for like a feminine guy or somebody who wears hints of pink, because of the pink drink. I know some guys are freaked out about that. It doesn't bother me one bit. I feel good. A lot of my guys that I was in the Army with are feeling good, and these products are for men, not just women, but these are for men. And a lot of men are seeing great results from them. So one of the things I want to cover, I heard Kevin mention earlier the triplex. So I want to talk about the triplex, and here's why. We have a catalog. If you look in the chat thread that's on this Zoom, you'll see that I've posted 3 different links. The first link is for our product catalog. So you can check that out. You can go and look at that. But I'm just going to cover the triplex, and here's why. If a guy comes to me and says, Justin, I have half of the issues that you have going on, or I have migraines, or I have this going on, I have toenail fungus, I have eczema or psoriasis going on, I am going to 100% of the time, I'm going to recommend they start with the triplex. So I'm just going to share a little bit about the triplex tonight. It's 3 products. The first product is our pink drink. It's called the Slim. I don't know if they have anything there, Kevin, laid out or anything. Okay, so I've got my pink drink. It looks like a Crystal Light packet. You put it in water and you drink it. So what's the important thing about Slim? I'm not going to give you all the big words that I can't pronounce. I'm just going to talk to you like I talk to people normally, okay? It helps with blood sugar balance. It helps with weight loss. And it has a gut health component to it. So it's addressing gut health. And that's what the drink does, okay? It gives me all day energy. I don't miss a day without at least 1 Plexus Slim, okay? Sometimes I have 2. The second product in the triplex is a ProBio 5. If you're not familiar with what a probiotic is, I know you're familiar with what an antibiotic is. An antibiotic kills bacteria. Okay, we're just going to keep this real simple. Anti-death, right? Antibiotic kills bacteria. A probiotic is life. It's adding good bacteria into your gut where it needs to be. Why do we need good bacteria in our gut? Because we live in a world that's full of pesticides, stress. The food that we eat, not all of us eat as clean as we could. We eat fast, right? there's not one of us on here that's 100% organic and doing all the things we know we should do. At least I'm not. I try to be very, very careful, but the probiotics really help with our gut health. They're adding good bacteria into our gut. Now, there's a lot of probiotics on the market. Before Plexus, we had probiotics in our home. We had very expensive probiotics. We had ones that you had to put into the refrigerator and you drank and you did all these other things. The cool thing about this probiotic is it absolutely works. And it's a fraction of the cost we were spending on other probiotics that we had to put in the refrigerator. So for us, we saved money by switching to Plexus. So actually the cost of the triplex for us cost as much as the one probiotic we had to take before. So it was a huge savings for us. So our probiotic also, I'm not going to bore a bunch of guys with all the details here, but it's giving good bacteria into our gut. It also kills off the bad bacteria in our gut, and it kills off yeast overgrowth in our gut. Okay, I can give you more information about that if you want, but it's doing a couple different things at the same time. It's killing off and it's adding good into the gut. The third component of the triplex is called the BioCleanse, and this is like a magnesium supplement. This is by far my favorite product that Plexus has. I will not miss a day without my BioCleanse because it keeps things moving, if you know what I mean. And it's also helped me with my restless leg. I've always been a little bit off, and some people deal with restless legs. I have a restless leg. I don't know why, but my left leg gets restless. Anyway, BioCleanse helps keep that at bay because magnesium will help relax the body. That's one thing it'll help do. It helps relax the body. I took magnesium supplements prior to Plexus, but this works the best. I use some other products, but the BioCleanse from Plexus works the best for me. Like I said, it's my favorite product. It helps keep things moving. So the probiotic is kind of cleansing things and adding good. The BioCleanse is hauling the bad off, and it just keeps things going. So that's my non-medical professional explanation of the triplex. And like I said, I think every person I've ever signed up and started on products, I start them with the triplex first because it covers so many foundational issues in our body that most people's goals can be met by the triplex alone. Some people will want to add a whole bunch of products at first, and I just say, save your money, start with the product or start with the triplex for 60 days. You have a 60-day money-back guarantee, and then we'll go from there. There was one lady I didn't recommend the triplex to, and looking back, I should have recommended the triplex to her. So that's the only product really I'm going to cover today. We also have multivitamins. We have some like a pain and discomfort line. We have some weight loss products as well. And we have a new skincare product. And for a guy who has spent all of his life in the sun with road construction and in the Army, I have some skin damage. And those products too are really helping me see some great benefits. Those skin products are. So that's what I'm going to cover with the products. You can ask more questions. I want to leave plenty of time for questions at the end. And don't forget to look at the product catalog link that's in the chat thread on this Zoom call. Another thing real quick, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the business side of things. And I love talking about this because I absolutely hated anything to do with this sort of business prior to Plexus. I said, no way, I'll never be a part of that. It's a pyramid scheme. I'm a guy. Do I look like I'm dumb? No one ever makes any money. It's pink. The guys at work will laugh at me. They'll kill me, whatever. And I wanted nothing to do with it. So even though we had seen great results with our products, and I love the products, Megan, my wife, came to me and said, hey, there's a lot of people interested in this. We should look into this business opportunity. And I said, no way. I have nothing to do with it. Not doing it. I said, those things, I said, those things are even illegal. I think they're illegal, and I'm not doing them. So really the problem is I didn't have any knowledge. I had heard a couple of my broke friends talk about network marketing in a negative light. And sometimes I think when we're in conversations, we just share what we've heard, whether it's right or not. We want to sound intelligent. And I was trying to sound intelligent, and looking back, I was a fool because I had no idea what I was talking about. Anyway, what happened was, prior to all of this, we were praying for my wife's health, and we were praying that I'd come home because I was maybe some of you guys can relate with this. I was tired. I had hit the ceiling where I was going to be at work. I was never going to go any higher. I was where I was going to be for the next 30 years, and it was a great place to be. I was thankful for it, but there was no more challenge. There was no more I was at the high end of my compensation side of things where I was at, and I was never home with my family. I said, so I'm going to I come to a conclusion is that I'm going to get to the end of this career, and I'm not going to know my kids. So a couple years prior to Plexus, I started praying. I'm like, Lord, bring me an opportunity so I can be home with my family. So anyway, enters Plexus. I say, no way. And then Megan says, well, I'm going to share with some people. Do you mind? I said, I don't care if you share. So I said, but I'm not having anything to do with this. And so she started sharing. And within a couple weeks, she had I came home and she had a check. It was about a $500 check, and which greatly exceeded any expectation I ever had of network marketing already. And she's like, hey, check this out. And I looked at it and I said, whoa, is this legal? And she said, I don't know. They just kind of sent me a check. I said, for what? Well, I don't know. I was just sharing with some people on Facebook. And I said, I am not going to jail because of I was so negative I was like, no, I'm not going to prison. And so we finally determined that this is a legitimate check from a legitimate company. And I said, wait a minute. Now, I'm slow, but I'm not stupid. I said, you made $500. It takes me a lot of hours away from my children and away from home to make $500. And you made $500 sharing the products that we love on Facebook while homeschooling a bunch of kids. She said, yeah. I said, well, I'm going to look into this network marketing, and I'm going to look into Plexus. So I started digging in. And what I found was remarkable. I thought, this thing that I hate is exactly what I need. And I was starting to see names like Robert Kiyosaki. If you're not familiar with him, whether you're in Plexus or not, I highly recommend you read his book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It's a game changer. So Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett, Donald Trump, lots of very successful businessmen were saying, I was reading what they were saying about network marketing. They're saying this industry is legitimate. I thought, okay, so here we have these billionaires saying that this industry is good. And here we have a couple of my friends that said this industry is bad, who are my broke friends. I thought, I'm going to go with the rich guys here, and I'm going to see what this industry is about. And then I started studying Plexus. And I started to see that their compensation plan was just as good as their products. And I found out that not only did they pour integrity into their products, because these are super clean, super great products, but they poured integrity into their compensation plan. Really, integrity covers everything that they do. And I thought, I can attach my name to this company. And I'm going to start sharing this with these guys because I love the products already. So I started sharing. I started sharing with all the network that I was around every day, my construction guys, and they started drinking these pink drinks. And then a business grew. And, our first goal when we first started was we're going to get our products covered, because we started our kids on the products, and it's expensive. We have 6 children, 8 people taking some products, it was pretty, it was expensive. But so our first goal was to pay for the products. We checked that off the list because our business grew. Then we thought, well, let's think big here. The business is really growing. What if we paid our house off? That'd be crazy. Let's just think wild, And we paid our house off. And then the business kept growing. And the reason the business grows is because the products work. Okay, that's the main thing. If the products didn't work, we wouldn't be succeeding with this business. So the next thing was, let's get a nice vehicle. Boom, check the vehicle off the list. And it's like, what if I could come home? What if this is the answer for those years of prayers so I could be home with my kids? What if this is it? And here I am. This actually September, last month, marked the 2-year anniversary that I left road construction. I've been home full-time working Plexus. And that's 2 years that I've had to disciple my children every day. Every day. I mean, I made up some time in those 2 years. Lost time. What a blessing. What an absolute blessing. And to think that I hated the very thing that freed me up at one time. So now I'm home, and I'm not going to share all my next goals with you, but they're big and they're scary. And we expect to be with Plexus for a very, very long time. This has actually turned into a career path. Not only that, it's my purpose. I believe wholeheartedly that I am in the company that I'm supposed to be in, and I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And the platform that I have in this company, God is going to help me to use for good. So it's been an incredible thing. It's freed me up and helped me to go on some missions trips. I just went to Africa in April on an incredible missions trip that would have never been possible. It was self-funded. So it was incredible. And I wasn't responsible to anybody. Our team was not responsible to anybody but God. We answered a call, we took what we had, and we did what we were called to do, and we came home. And it was so freeing, so wonderful. Our families traveled all over the place. We worked this business together, and we share it with other people because of how much value it's added to us as a family. And I want to see other families freed up. I want to see other families with integrity to join a company with integrity and hopefully change the face of network marketing as an industry. That's one of my goals because this is the most incredible industry on the planet. Now, real quick, specifically about Plexus, I did post in the chat thread on this Zoom, a copy of our compensation plan. There's a full compensation plan if you're really into details, and then there's a summarized version. I would, even if you're on the fence, do yourself a favor. Don't wait so long like I did. Just read it. Just check it out. Just put it to the test, okay? Put it to the test and see what you think about the compensation plan. It's the biggest blessing we've had in our life as far as business opportunity goes. So anyway, real quick, why Plexus over some of the other companies? There's a lot of other health companies out there, health and wellness companies. There's a lot of other network marketing companies. Why would you join Plexus? First and foremost, like I said earlier, the products work, okay? The products work. Some of the other good things about our company is, and these are just basic things, but 60-day money-back guarantee. You can take the product for 60 days and get your money back. That's like unheard of in this industry. And why do we do that? Because we believe in our products. We believe in what we're sharing with other people, and we're not afraid to throw that guarantee out there. One of the other things with our company is $34.95 to become an ambassador. Of course, you pay for your personal products, but it costs $34.95 to get the opportunity to earn a commission. Okay. Other companies are not that cheap, and here's why. Let me explain to you real quick. Another company might be $1,000 or $500 or $3,000 or $5,000 to get started. You'll hear this term sometimes, the buy-in. What's the buy-in? Our buy-in is $34.95 annually. That's it. Now, why is the other company so high? Here's why. Because with the other companies, you have to buy your inventory, right? and you have to hide it in your closet. If you sell what's in your closet, you make some money. If you don't sell what's in your closet, you still have things in your closet. And there's a lot of people out there that put a lot of money, they bought a lot of inventory into candles or leggings or baskets or whatever with the hope of selling them, and they lost a lot of money. Guys, $34.95. It's not even a cell phone bill. It's unbelievable opportunity. $34.95 because we have no inventory to carry. It's all web-based. Someone comes to you, they want to order, you send them to your website. They order off your website. Plexus sends them their products, and you're done, except for following up with your new ambassador or your new customer and trying to help them succeed to meet their goals. It's incredible. No parties. A lot of places, a lot of companies, you have to throw a party, or you have to go to your relatives. Hey, will you host a party for me? And it just kind of gets odd, like after the third party. It's like, I just don't really want to throw a party for you anymore, So kind of even what we're doing. I mean, you shame your family into throwing a party for you. We have no parties. This is not party driven. What we're doing tonight, we're doing because we believe we have value to add to people with our products and with our business opportunity. This is not a requirement. This is something Kevin had a desire to do, and I'm glad he did. So no parties. Another thing with Plexus is, and this is an incredible tool, is most companies in this industry, you cannot sign up a spouse, right? With Plexus, you can sign your spouse up under yourself and work the business together. My wife and I work this business as a team. We are one in our business, and we work it together. And that's such a blessing, and I'm glad that Plexus allows us to do that. You can double dip that way too, which we could explain later if you want to know more details about the compensation plan. Because anything I do, my wife will benefit, right? Which, if it all goes in the same bank account, we both benefit. So it works out really well. So you can sign up a spouse. Another thing is you can earn a commission quickly. We pay, Plexus pays weekly and monthly. A lot of companies will pay either weekly or monthly. We pay both. Our compensation plan, there's actually 11 different ways to be compensated. Some of them are on a weekly basis and some on a monthly. So if you signed up today and you got started, and let's say you signed 3 people up under you, you could see a return on that $34.95 investment by next Friday. I mean, it's a quick return on investment. It has the potential of having quick return on your investment. Another thing is with Plexus, not only can you sign up a spouse, but if you get to what's called Diamond, it's the highest rank we have. That's what my wife is, and that's what I will be soon. You can sign up underneath yourself. You can re-enter under yourself and run a whole new leg or business under yourself, and that's unheard of in this business. So Plexus is very generous, very, very generous. And like I said, the products work. So what do we do? How do we work this business? I share my story with people. I tell them what I've seen, and I tell them what I've heard, and I share with them exactly what Plexus has done to my health and what it's done as a business opportunity. And I believe people in America need what we have to offer. So that's really what we've got. That's short, simple, as quick as I can be. I'm sorry if I was too long, but we can do what you want or open it up to questions if you'd like to, Kevin, if anybody has any.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Justin. That was awesome. Very informative and loved it. So yeah, we've got a few guys here that I don't know if you guys have questions or we can do this on our own, but Justin is definitely a good resource to have if you have any questions at all. I can relay them for you. You guys can come over here and you'll on the screen. You guys have any questions at all? We can do that when it ends too. Some of you know this stuff already, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You mentioned sending information on the chat since we're not actually on Zoom. Can you pull that information?
Yeah. So the question was, will the information on the chat still be available And this Zoom was recorded. So yeah, you can get the link and everything will be right there, right? Oh, can't hear you.
Here we go. Sorry. Yes, everything will be on the chat thread. This is being recorded, so it's a tool that you can use anytime, and you can go on there and, click on one of those three links if you want.
Yep. Awesome.
And
anything else? All right, what were you going to say, Justin?
I'm just going to say, honestly, take a look at this. When I talk to younger people, or even older people, even retired people, I just tell them, I said, do yourself a favor and just put this to the test. Take a look at it. This is legitimate. If I would have missed out on this opportunity, I don't know what our life would look like, but it's been the biggest blessing of our marriage. Been one of the top 3 biggest blessings of our marriage anyway. Let's put it that way. Dave Ramsey was a pretty good one too. So, but put this stuff to the test. Really, before you make a decision, at least make an informed decision. At least take a look at what we have and seriously consider it, because it's seriously changing people's lives. And just from a business opportunity perspective, let me just put it this way, $34.95. We live in a day and age where we have the internet. We have social media at our fingertips, which at this point anyway is a free gift. It's free. It's like a gift. It's been given to us to work a business. So you have worldwide opportunity. Right now, Plexus is in the United States, it's in Canada, it's in New Zealand, and it's in Australia. And in those 4 countries, this Plexus is still wide open. It's not saturated. The market is still wide open. And we're getting ready to launch. I don't know exactly where. I have some ideas. But the goal was to launch into 100 new countries in the next 5 years. Now think about market opportunity. Think about potential. With the internet, with social media, with Instagram, Facebook, these great products, great compensation plan, we are on the ground floor of something that's going global in a company full of integrity. So business opportunity-wise, I don't know that there's a bigger one unless you're a crooked politician.
Thank you so much, man. Any last thoughts, or we good?
I think so.
All right. Thank you, Justin. That was awesome. We're going to close it out, and then we're going to hang out here, but really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.